Addiction is a much more common problem than most people think. Some addictions are worse than others, and an addiction to food or drugs, for example, is often directly visible. The people that are addicted get overweight or are simply very bad looking since they do not take care of themselves anymore. Addictions to porn or social media, on the other hand, are often invisible, and there are very few resources out there to help people. In reality, everything that can be a habit can also become an addiction. The difference just lies in the intensity and the negative effects. When something has positive effects, it doesn't really count as an addiction in the point of view of society. However, it can be just as difficult to stop. Let us now analyze how to trick our minds to make room for improvement. After all, addiction is a major time killer that blocks almost all mental resources. We can't really think about anything that isn't the object of our addiction, in case we are addicted. But let us begin with some short-term fixes. What can you immediately do when things get critical? First, when you decided to stop, block and avoid all of the trigger material and all of the object of your addiction. When you are addicted to cigarette, get rid of all cigarettes. When you are addicted to pornography, block and avoid all porn. When you are addicted to alcohol, get rid of all the alcohol. Just remove the object of your addiction from your direct surroundings. When things get critical nonetheless and the urges are very strong, you should try to change your state of mind, and there are several things you can do to achieve that. For example, you can take cold showers. The body will have other things to deal with in such a situation. Further, you can try to do some push-ups to get you into a state of excitement where your body thinks about other things than the object of your addiction. You can also try to think about something disgusting or sad just to change your mood a little bit. Further, it is a good idea to reflect often on why you decided to quit your addiction in the first place. Maybe even make some diary entries so you can look back to them when you feel like you lost your purpose and have no idea why you do it. Thus, you can recollect how miserable you were. And remember, there is nothing to lose when you don't binge on your addiction material. Addiction creates the emotional down you try to fix by your drug. It is the cause of your problems, not the remedy. As often, it is like bashing your head against a wall just to enjoy the feeling of stopping it, which is pretty, foolish. Next comes some midterm fixes. You want to distract yourself? Be busy. You have to fill the new spare time you do not spend with your addiction with something that is not addiction related, preferably long-term positive things or habits. Slowly distance yourself from people that are still heavily indulging in the drug of your choice. Remember that you adapt to your social surroundings by becoming more like the people you spend time with, and you do not want to become more like addicts. Further, you can try to reorganize your immediate surroundings to stop associating it with your addiction. Maybe change the setup of your room, your bed, your desk, or things like that. Also, it is a good idea to try to get other people to keep you accountable. All in all, you want to create an environment that is supportive of your goals. And now to the most profound things you can do to overcome an addiction for good. What can you do in the long run? Well, the first and most profound thing is meditation. You want to be mindful enough to notice when you drift off into an automatic reaction that leads to addiction. When you are mindful, you can notice. Further, meditation supplies a good replacement for the, good feelings that usually result from your drug, as meditation or the deep states of concentration can feel very good. Another thing you can do is work towards a significant other that aids you in the process and makes you feel ashamed if you fail. Shame can be a useful incentive to stop, but it is a double-edged sword, as it can also wreak havoc on your mental health. Nonetheless, if you skillfully use it, it can have its merit. Further, you want to work on long-term gratification habits to replace the constant need for instant gratification. Try lifting, healthy eating, and meditation. When you do those things often enough, then you will constantly get rewarded all the time. You have to make abstaining a habit. Willpower is a limited resource, and you will always run out of it at some point. And only a stable habit can save you in such a situation. And all in all, well, abstaining from drugs has to become a habit, since you ingrained the, addiction over countless of years, and it takes a long time to fully recover. But let us now come to the most important points. You have to replace your addiction. Willpower only is not enough. It's as simple as that. Further, do not rationalize binging when you fail. Reducing your addiction by 90% is a great success and not a failure, and not a reason to, stop it altogether, which is a typical rationalization people tell themselves. And the best time to stop an addiction is always right now. When you first want to start, do it now. When you relapsed, start a new streak immediately. It's as easy as that. Do not postpone it. It's not worth it. And the only way to get rid of an addiction for good is to remove its causes. And many times it is a cope for unhappiness. Fix the unhappiness by adding long-term positive habits, and you fix the addiction. Just like an alcoholic, however, you will remain very susceptible to triggers for a very long time to come. Thus, you have to be very ardent and alert. And all in all, you have to be smart about overcoming an addiction. You can only really trick your mind by forcing it to directly experience the adverse effects of your addiction, and then you will automatically stop. Your brain or mind will try to avoid suffering at all costs, but it is often misled. Okay, and that's pretty much it for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe to the channel. If you feel like I missed something, please let me know in the comment section so that other people can benefit from your wisdom. But until then, I wish you a pleasant day and goodbye.